Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Evercade podcast. Evercast. We got some good stuff to talk about today. There's Crow with the Skeletor dance.
Yeah.
Skeletor.
I think that's his thing to try to distract me now. Like when I rolled the intro. I was ready for you. So, how's everybody doing on this fine Saturday?
Very good.
Is it Saturday?
Like, what?
Oh, let's check out what day it was, I guess.
It's Happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving weekend for me.
That's right.
Is it?
Yep.
Yep. Well, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Pete.
So, do you do Thanksgiving? I can't remember. I know it's a different time. Do you do it like on the weekend, or you do it like in the weekday? Or?
Thanksgiving is the Monday.
Okay.
But most people do it either the Saturday or Sunday. Some do it in the Monday because usually in the Monday it's big football games going on up here and Canadian football and stuff like that. But it's a day off of work too. But most people celebrate Sunday, so you get your rest on Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
From the pile of turkey we've eaten.
Nice. Oh God, that thing is huge hands.
Well, this is Terror Claw's Skeletor or something like that.
Oh my goodness. I love that you pulled out a random toy.
Well, this is new because like it was on sale and I bought it and I got the Flying Fist He-Man? It's like the same thing. He's got different stuff.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll definitely today we're definitely gonna be talking about like Duke Nukem and Atari and all that fun stuff. And actually I also polled all of you who are watching to see how you feel about Duke Nukem as well.
Yeah,
I haven't heard from Gandalf, I imagine. He's probably doing Gandalf things as usual. Oh my goodness. That's wow. Oh man. All right, well let's go ahead. Let's say hi to the chat as we always do. Who do we got this morning? We got archive gig footage SJK. Wow, I don't know why that shouldn't have been a tongue twister, man. We got Ian Hobbies. Oh, we got Ryan in the house. Hey man, long time no see. We got Julian D. We got Sucker MC. Hey, that's funny, that rhymes. You guys did that on purpose. We got Phantom Fiction channel member. We got Ballistic Coffee Boy. We have Jason Shears. We've got Dave D. We've got Lamini Pie. We've got Ernest P. World 1984. We got the Geekstorian. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, depending on where you're located in the world and watching this.
Good grief.
What is it on your screen, Crow?
On my screen?
Yeah.
Why is that there?
Yeah. What is that?
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Looks like a tiny chicken in a blue thing. I don't know.
I know what that is, but why is that there? Well, did I click on something and I? See, you shouldn't have given me. You shouldn't have given me like the. Oops! What am I doing?
Whoa!
You should not have given me like the presentation thing. I don't know what I'm doing here. Why do I have notes?
We start off before the show. He's like all echoing. He denies that it's his setup.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense why I would be echoing. And why is that there now?
It's funny though. It's funny. It's like it's always something with this audio. Oh man, now he's like randomly clicking things. Like
I don't even know what to click.
Oh wow! Sorry, feel my headphones. All right. So how was y'all's week and stuff?
Oh, well,
that's that kind of a week, huh?
Yes.
It was good. Why is there something in front of Crow? What are you doing there?
That's what we're talking about. I must have clicked on something that was a shortcut to something I didn't know was a shortcut to, and now I have to figure out to just make it disappear. There it is.
There we go.
I don't know what you do every week. I think somebody like you have you have that disease where you forget every day what you did the previous day.
Yeah, I do.
And you have to watch a video of you talking to you saying.
Oh yeah, he figured me out. That's exactly why I would be in here earlier if it wasn't.
Julian,
It gets longer every day.
Really, Victor? Come on, man. Like, seriously.
Or it's like the movie Memento, where he's got to have all like those. He's got like his whole body tattooed, and he's like looks, trying to figure out the puzzle.
No, I'm thinking of this movie, Clean Slate. I don't remember who was in it, and that's probably nobody ever talks about that movie anymore. And I've even forgotten about the movie until you just mentioned that premise.
See, you said you forgot.
Well,
that's so much fun. That's so much fun. You know what? Time Eternal. That would be that. It'll never happen, but it would be awesome. I just wish we had more. I just wish we had more Game Boy games. Skill tricks. Well, funny you mentioned that, Jason. Is for once, finally, I think in Evercast history, I'm actually getting my carts on a Saturday, because otherwise I have to wait till Monday. So it's out for delivery. So yeah, I cannot. After the show here, I'll probably be recording my first impressions, and I'm really looking forward.
That's what it was. It was
good luck with the Delphine collection. You'll probably like it.
I might. I peeked at Mad Little Pixel playing it. The first two, I know that the first two games I think I'll like, but we'll see about. I don't know. Point and click without a mouse and point and click. The point and click game, I don't know. That's definitely like, hey, I've got to really be in the mood to want to play that.
Well, point and click game on a game without a mouse is on a console.
I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I've done that before.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. Like, I could talk forever on that cart. But yeah, I definitely. Worst cart ever. Worms is better than that.
Worms is better than like almost all of them, but what about Gremlin? You think it's worse than Gremlin?
Oh, 100%.
The Gremlin's like the best.
What game in Gremlin makes it good?
I don't know. Yeah, I love it, man. I put that video out, and you can tell the morons, because there's lots of them, who didn't watch the video, because if they did, they would have I never once ever critiqued anybody for liking it. I always said, hey, man, that's just not my jam. I'm sure there's tons of people who like it. But, the internet's just full of morons.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons I stopped posting my videos on Facebook, because I could tell people would say things based on the title.
Oh, I didn't post that in a Facebook fan group. I would probably got banned from it if I posted it in a fan group.
Yeah. I haven't.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It's like you can't have an opinion that goes against it is for me the worst cart ever. I'll be the first one to call a cart the best one ever too. But
which one is the best one ever?
What one?
Which cart is the best cart ever?
I don't know. I don't think I've had one yet that's the best ever that would trump everything else.
It's Worms.
I think it's hard, right? I don't know. Maybe Nukem will be that one.
True. I know.
We'll know in 2024 when we get it.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. I know. Rich's. I think is still Pico 1. I think that's
it's tough. I don't know. I really love Jalico. I like the Intellivision collection. I like both Intellivision collections quite a bit. I love the Atari collections. So I don't know. I think probably Alwa's Awakened Cathedrals. Probably, if I had to go and actually work and really do some thinking about it, I'd probably be able to come up with one or two. But when you got to work to do YouTube, that's BS, right? Why do it? Renovation. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, really, really strong.
No, at one point, Cathedral probably was my favorite game and favorite card on Evercade until my save got corrupted, and that just sucked.
Well, I'll say that Cathedral, I'd say, is the second best.
It's a really good. It's an excellent. It hits everything on the nostalgia and the graphics, and if you like Metroidvanias and all that fun stuff. Man, a lot of people chatting about Facebook. Oh my goodness! Oh Oh yeah, Xenocrisis. Actually, I think in the beginning, a long time ago, in an earlier Evercast, I think I did vote that to be my favorite cart. I like that, and but okay, so let's go ahead talk about a few things. Not like the biggest news. Let's talk about the kind of the minor news, or maybe to some people it might be more major news. Man, I'm like,
what are we doing? Are we still doing intros?
No, unless you have anything else to say in the intro. No, I think wanted to talk about. I'm curious. I know, Rich, and I know he did he did a whole video with his opinion. I don't think I've heard y'all's opinion about the cartridge update. about Atari.
Oh, for Atari?
About
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
mind. I don't mind. I have them. Really good. I don't think anybody who wants them will have any hard difficulty finding them. I mean,
Yeah.
they're out there everywhere. I'm pretty sure you probably still can probably buy them either new or used. Licenses run out. If people get upset about this, they just need to get out of their basement and see the rest of the world, because this is how it works.
Just like
There's no
everything
such thing
else,
as a license in perpetuity anymore.
Yeah, everything goes out of print eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think they've moved on. I think Atari's moved on. Atari's the retro game of the decade, in my opinion, so far. Like, they're the retro company of the decade. They're doing everything right, and they probably want to do other licenses with other companies and maybe Blaze down the road too. You know, maybe.
Yeah,
So,
they even got me
the
to spend
problem is there's nothing new. They don't have anything new outside of the recharge games, right?
No, that's not technically true, because
Few
they
things.
they are releasing games that were previously not released before. So I don't know if you want to consider that to be new or not.
Well, Mr. Run and Jump. I mean, they have.
Yes,
But I
that's
mean, they're
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
They don't have any more old games. They're old games.
yeah, they did. They just released another one.
Hey, Ballistic Coffee Boy, they have their own handheld. They have I just did a video on it, the Atari 50 by My Arcade.
Oh yeah, that's right. That new.
Well, I
I'll have
consider
check
that to be
out.
my arcade device, not necessarily an Atari device.
Yeah, I don't think Atari's ever getting into the hardware business again.
No.
Well, what
What's-
about
so-
the 2600 plus? Who's making that then?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they are making that. I'm not sure.
So one thing that's interesting, on the bottom of the list are Atari Arcade 1, so maybe they'll never fix that one around. But I agree. It's pretty much with everything you all said, it's a natural progression. But like this, we hope in the future. So here's how I read into that, because that's just kind of like do business again. I think that maybe Atari, like with all the resurgence, maybe they think now they're too big for Evercade. And so that's
I
why
don't
they
think that's that at all.
You don't think that? Do you think I hope that's not the case, but I'm thinking, like, do you think we'll see more Atari games on Evercade? I hope so. I hope it's not.
Evercade's company is bigger than Atari. Atari only has 12 employees. Like, seriously, Atari only has 12 employees.
It might be a while, because who knows what they've got lined up, and they probably are like a laser, like, we got enough Atari stuff out there. Let's get other stuff out there, and it'll probably be a while in the future if we ever see any Atari stuff again.
Yeah.
I don't think
it also depends on how. If it depends on if they think also is the Atari stuff going to sell more than the other stuff we have? They're probably going to want to push out whatever they think is going to sell more.
There you go. Ballistic said 35 employees, so they got 35. I'm pretty sure Blaze probably has 35 people too. So
I don't know.
Yeah, they're not very big, right? And I don't think it goes in ebb and flow, right? 2 years from now, Atari might be in, filing bankruptcy. Just ebb and flow of business, right? So I don't know. I think it's good news. They're moving on. Do something different. Spend their money elsewhere.
Yeah, but here's the one thing that I do like about the Evercade ecosystem is that unlike some other retro products, when a new cart does come out or you get into it, pretty much I want to say everybody who wants to get it has a great chance to get it. Like, even if you just got into it now, you have until the end of the year. So it's not, and then it rewards, people like all of us, all of you who are watching, who are into Evercade. It's like you get into it, you've secured that collection. You don't have to worry about getting like Technos. I think somebody said they paid $100 for that, like on like Discord.
I think it's an outlier. There's a few
I
other
know.
ones that are out of print that you can still get at a decent price.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, that's a good.
That's
true. A good observation.
Yes, no kidding, Phantom. Got a fiction channel member. Yeah, no kidding. You know what? Because funny that, and Pete, because I know you're licensing, or this is your world. Do you think initially when they made like the Namco deal that they never came out and said that it was for handheld only? Not until later for the VS. Do you think then they realized?
Yeah, I think they had no plans. I don't even think they thought that long ahead to have a console in place. And when they decided, I think the Evercade original was successful enough for them to make another product in the line. Then they went with home console. So, yeah, I think it was probably you know, yeah, it would probably is like, you know, they didn't know enough to secure a console one because they didn't know they were building a console when they got that license. I think that's fair to assume that.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
didn't know what the success of it was going to be.
True. I think we've kind of talked about before. Like, I think they weren't sure was there going to be the success of more than just the initial 10 cartridges. You know, it's great that obviously it's beyond that.
Yeah. Interesting. Like, I mean, that day, I think we said, I might even said 2 years ago, like, people need to prepare for licenses to leave, and them to stop making games for certain carts. And I think we talked about it back when, it might have been on my channel or on Rich's channel. We talked about the value of the carts. I'm like, yeah, I mean, people say, like, I don't want to buy all the carts. And I said, well, one of the reasons some people want to have all the carts is because one day they're not going to make certain carts. They don't make Intellivision anymore, right? So that's already gone, right?
Yeah.
They've lost that license expired. So you're gonna continue to see this. So there's gonna actually be a scarcity, I would say, because 50% of all things sold right now, all Evercade sold in 5 years, will be in landfills anyway. So, well, they will be, because people will just get rid of them, they'll lose them, whatever. They don't have value. There'll be scarcity in this product, in certain products, I think, in 10 years. So they'll have some collectability to them, especially since the big retro collector channels out there that drive the retro scarcity business all have talked about Evercade at one time. So
That's true.
it's not obscure, right? I really think we need to change the time of this show just so that Rich is not constantly having pressure to get on this show, to be honest with you.
Is he getting bagels again?
No, so he's backstage. He's like, I think he's like in the car. I think maybe he's making sure.
Oh yeah, I see him there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Atari.
He's gone again.
He was there. He'll come back. Just trust us, audience. He was backstage. I guess, yeah. He's in the car. Hopefully not driving.
God, who's saying that Blaze is driving scarcity? No one. I'm just saying scarcity drives scarcity. Yeah, I think if anybody's saying that narrative, they're pretty nuts. Because no company in the world would want to not sell their product, right?
Yeah, it's like if they plan on making the cost of the existing stuff go up, they're not going to see any money from that. It's going to be people that already have it.
The bagel shop needs a change, not Rich. Yes, even the arcade. Yep,
Yeah, good riddance.
Feel like Atari. No, for me though, to be honest, like I will say that like Atari One Collection is one of my favorite go-tos. But if I just want to like pop in and do some score chases, and even same with the Namco.
Oh,
actually, I'm glad I have two Ataris since I got a replacement.
That did have a thought cross my mind when Atari Arcade 1 being discontinued like that. Does that mean we're never gonna get a fixed version of Asteroids Deluxe?
That ship sailed. Like, did you honestly think they were going to fix that? Really? They can't even get carts out as it is, let alone put time to go.
Yeah, I tried to fix it myself by putting the Asteroids Deluxe ROM on there. That didn't quite work out. I'm thinking about just changing it so it is just Asteroids instead of Asteroids Deluxe. I think I can do that.
We're still waiting to get actual feature updates for the system, right? Like just the ecosystem. Like, so I think that I'd be shocked if they switched out that game. Because you'd have to flash the entire cart, right? To fix it.
Probably, yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd have to update the cart. I don't know about the entire cart. There's certain files on there that would need to be updated. I know which ones. I know some of them that need to be updated. I apparently haven't identified them all.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm sorry, Crow. We're forever. That'll be a collectible just in its future. Buy the game that doesn't have all the games.
Right? The Atari variant, yeah.
It's an Atari variant, but there's no other real version of this. You're always stuck with it.
Right?
It's a variant, but the original version.
But the original never existed.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. I can be honest with you, Crow. I don't really care. I don't like. For me, it doesn't
Well,
bother
that's
me
the
at
one
all.
thing I was like looking as I go. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed. That was like the biggest thing that the biggest thing that needed to be fixed. I thought because it was entirely the wrong game, and it's been like what 2 years, and it never was fixed. But whatever.
So here's what's interesting
We should start a GoFundMe.
Eh,
Fix the cart. Here, Blazers,
fix the
$5,000.
cart.
Please fix the cart.
That'd be funny. Or offer like a service. Send me your cart and I'll fix it. But no, for me, the only thing was that like Namco and Atari, like Technos, like that was kind of the nostalgia that, you know, that went ahead and got me into it. And now like the nostalgia to get people into it is the Capcom collection. But so here's something interesting, and I've kind of thought about, you know, kind of based upon, you know, like, you know, you brought up, you know, many times, Pete, about like, you know, Blaze like selling consoles and all that. What if, and this would kind of be funny, what if it wasn't like, what if it wasn't Capcom that wanted the carts embedded? What if like Blaze wanted them embedded so they could sell more EXPs? But they would never come out and say that because we'd all be like angry. I don't know, conspiracy, but just throwing that out there.
I don't think you're not far from probably. Like, let's be honest here, right? Like, we don't know if Capcom blocked them from making a cart.
Yeah.
But I can tell you the EXP sold probably, I'd say, hazard a guess, at least 50% more units because Capcom was on there.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would
just think that would be brilliant strategy by Blaze if they did that. Like business sense, it makes perfect sense for them.
Yeah, but we'll never know. But I think
Yeah.
you're not far from the truth. Yeah, Capcom could have said no physical cart, but when has Capcom ever said no to physical? Like they put physicals on Switch all the time. Like it makes no sense that they would say, "Oh, Evercade, it's egregious that you'd want our physical versions." But hey,
You can see
like
the same
everybody
thing
else
about
can have it.
Namco though too, because Namco's the same thing, and so it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't.
Well,
yeah,
difference...
it doesn't make sense at all. We're just told what we're told, right? And
yeah,
drink your soup and shut up, kind of stuff, right?
I do know that Namco is a lot more weird when it comes to licenses, only because if you buy their collections like on Steam or on like PS4 or anything, there's a whole like license agreement you have to scroll down to.
Well,
you know what I mean? And it's weird.
Same thing with everything. You know, there's a license agreement with everything.
Yeah, but not when you like most 99% of my other games, when you install them, you don't have to like scroll down through the license the first time. It's weird and like say I agree.
There's some
like,
games that do it. There's some games that do.
Yeah, you just signed your mortgage over when you did that.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We've got Gandalf backstage. Gandalf, are you there? He's there. We can't.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, wait, there he is. There he is.
Talking about the loss of Atari. Woohoo! Party time.
Yeah, party time. Yeah, it's something. That's for sure. I mean, I talked about it a little bit when I reacted to it, but I don't know, man. This one's a bummer. You know, it's a bummer because Atari was the kind of the reason I wound up pushing myself over the edge to get an Evercade. I mean, it's not like they don't exist. You know, the cartridges are still going to be around for a while. I mean, there's probably tons of Atari 1 and 2 floating around in the ether. So it's not like it's not going to be around, but also still the opportunity to get a little deeper into that back catalog of Atari not necessarily being an option right now. It's a little bit of a bummer. Is Rich flying a plane?
Yeah, he's doing that while he's talking.
Yeah, we're en route to meet some family. So, and I gotta say, shout out to StreamYard. I don't know if anyone noticed, but they actually just put out in beta test flight, I guess, for iOS. There's an app, so I can see a StreamYard as almost exactly the way I see StreamYard in the studio right now. The app's pretty cool.
Nice. I wonder if they have that on Android.
I don't know. Probably isn't, but I was just when I was camping, I was just using it on my Android tablet, through the web browser.
Just through the web browser.
Yeah, it works really good.
Yeah, it's cool to actually have the app though. So now I'm interested. Ooh, can I get into studio and do studio stuff from my phone, anywhere?
That would be
that
awesome.
intrigues
me. Sadly, they don't have it. There's just how to use StreamYard, but not yet. But yeah, Chrome is pretty good for it. No, but that's That's awesome.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And I can also get like, I can tilt my phone, and my phone will actually do the tilt thing. Because last time I was on here, when we were doing like kind of almost the exact same thing, going almost the exact same place, I had to have my whole phone in portrait mode because it wouldn't let me do the whatchamacallit thing. It's no good.
Landscape?
Oh, I
He
can do
buys his
that.
Morgan bagels out of state. No, man.
Yeah.
I'm from Jersey. We got the best bagels, man. I mean, well, I have to have gluten free, but there are gluten free places now.
Wait. I was under the impression New York had the best bagels.
Nah, man. Nah.
He would know.
Montreal
He
has
would
the
know.
best bagels, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. Jersey's where it's at. That's where
New York City smells.
New York
God.
City smells.
Like bagels.
No, it's
Hey, any big listen, any big
smells like bagels.
It smells like poop.
So
It smells like
wanna-
poop.
you don't want to talk about this?
ooh. This was a cool video. I was kind of impressed. I am intrigued, like I also said, in the short little thing that I was talking about in my last video was I'm intrigued as to know why there was that delay. I mean, it had to have been like somebody wanted to like edit their voice recording or something like
I
that.
don't know. I thought it was kind
Couldn't
of
do it.
This caused a 5-month delay or whatever it was.
I mean, it was not even a 5-month delay. It was like
Hey.
it was like 2 weeks or something.
If I said it, it's true. You're
If you
American.
said
You
it-
should understand that. If it's
If you
said,
said it,
if it's said on a show, it's true. It's fact.
That's true.
So
that's it.
wait,
Yes.
so here's something that I thought was funny. Take a step back. Look how filthy that desktop. Like, and I think I commented on this.
Wait,
Dude,
what?
Look how dirty that is.
Yeah,
That's-
seriously, dude. Like, they have no shame.
That might be LGR's actual computer, though.
Who's LGR?
Clint, it's a Lazy Game Reviews. He's a really popular channel. He with old
That's why
computers.
we're not getting new collections. They
I
probably
was
blew
actually
their
that was the
wad.
biggest surprise of the video for me was the fact that he was doing part of his video. He loves Duke Nukem, which is probably why they got him to be in the video.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
you probably had to pay their entire marketing budget just to get this guy because, like,
No,
I bet he got like
I didn't even know who LGR was.
I don't know who
You guys did
LGR
not know who LGR. I mean, I've been watching his channel for years.
Does he have
But,
like 1 million subs?
Yeah, well, yeah, probably.
Well, that probably cost him $100,000 to get this promo done.
Well, let's find out.
Because usually it's what, for every 1 million views they get paid 20,000. So probably not that much. But
Well,
yeah.
he's got a couple channels, but there's one.
Oh, I'm gonna check him out. He sounds pretty cool. I didn't know who he was until this video. But yeah,
You know,
dude, LGR, you're pretty gross, man. Clean your freaking
One-
crap.
1.67 million subscribers.
I can't believe now I can't
Oh, okay.
unsee it. Thanks, Ed. Thanks. Ed.
Well, I've noticed a lot of YouTubers like they'll have their screens like handhelds, will have their screens all dusty and have fingerprints. I try to avoid that, but he's not alone. But it's just funny like how people don't realize like how close on camera. But yeah,
Well, he collects these computers, so like, what is he gonna do? Clean every single computer he's got?
Well, he should. Let's put like.
Oh. So, Fan and Fiction channel member. Sorry, say that every time. He said, "Do you see? No, there isn't. There is hype for a new window. I say this all the time. There is hype for a new window, definitely. Like if this, like I'll be honest, like if this was delayed until like next year or something, then my hype would go down for it. I'd be like, just give it to me now while it's hot. You know what I mean? Because other things.
I'm kind of not understanding the question.
Okay,
A new product
so
has a window.
Yes, because okay, so I'll give you a perfect example. Like something like the Atari 2600 Plus when it came out, like you know, I had super hype for it. And if I had like the means and like I could go to if I could go to the store and buy it and have it then, and I had the funds handy, boom, then I would, you know, then maybe I would have picked it up. And then maybe a few weeks go by, it's still cool, but it's not. You don't really feel the FOMO. That's, you know. And that's kind of how I feel with Evercade. Like when things get delayed, like way too much, then the hype. And I even mention this too for me all the time. Sometimes it depends, like what 2 collections we get in a month or 2 months, right? Like if we just got 1 collection and I was forced to play it more, some things maybe I would like more, some things not. So yeah, definitely there is all that. But so for me, here's
Wait,
so
is it 6 weeks to get this collection?
Yeah, the Duke Nukem
Yes.
collections. Yeah,
You honestly think we're getting this in 6 weeks? In 6 weeks, the Hyper Mega Tech stuff is supposed to be out. Do you honestly think this is going to come out in that same window?
it's
I'd
the
say
28th. It's the 28th of November.
4,
Yeah.
5. Yeah, 6 weeks is the Hyper Mega Tech.
Oh my gosh!
This is more or less
will
8 weeks.
admit wrong on that, but if you honestly think this is coming out in 6 weeks, the same time the delayed Hyper Mega Tech's coming out,
Well, it
I
would
got
be 2
Kool-Aid.
weeks.
I
No,
got
it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks after. It's 2 weeks after Hyper Mega Tech.
I don't even think we're going to get Hyper Mega Tech on that new delayed time.
No.
Well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't like. I'm not going to be like marking my calendar and counting down the days. When it comes, it comes. I don't care.
Yeah, but anyway, back to this.
So for me, for me, I got super hyped. I think to call it a deep dive was a little bit exaggerated because they really didn't dive as deep into like how this was made, and I kind of like the maybe it would be too geeky. But here was my whole thing, right? It was only 7 minutes, and I think we all kind of have the same. Like, why did this take so long? Did they have to get approval from Gearbox? That's what I don't get. Like, that's kind of the thing. I mean, people in the audience say, but I don't understand why this was delayed so much.
Well,
You know.
I'm going with.
I don't know why it was delayed, but if anything, there's nothing new here outside of the LGR. But my hype is still pretty real for this. Like, I am super excited for this stuff.
Actually, this
But I didn't need this video.
This video was totally overshadowed by another Duke Nukem video I saw the same week.
Yeah. But I didn't need this video.
What video was that?
The Duke Nukem Big Shot Pinball for Pinball M.
Oh yeah.
Which I initially thought was going to be this video until I started watching it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this isn't Evercade. This is Zen Studios."
See, for me though,
that there was like
I did need the hype. I did need this video because now like I'm back. So to kind of answer what I had a super brain fart to kind of to answer what Phantom Fiction was saying earlier. Yeah, about the hype. Yeah, like it kind of goes, and now we see the title screen, everything in full screen in the options. So for me, I don't like the hype is back. Like now I think this might be my most hyped card now since I saw it.
Yeah, it's I've always been my most hype. I didn't lose my hype for this. I still think it's fantastic. I just think it's 6 weeks delay for this, and I just think that's kind of comical.
I mean, I'm pretty hyped about the fact that like, we're getting like new music and stuff too. Like that was pretty cool to have a reveal that they're actually doing like other than just the graphical work and like making it widescreen and doing all that, which is really awesome. I think it's really cool that we're getting like a new soundtrack too. Like that's awesome.
Well, that was the other thing that kind of that was new information was the fact that you could switch between the different like sound modes that you would have on the PC back then.
Yeah.
That was
and they've got all the different driver things. Like you could use like PC speaker or SB16.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
I don't think I'll ever use any of those settings. I'll just use the one that it defaults to. I don't think that's something I'm
definitely gonna mess with it because I remember like those were the days back in the day.
Yeah,
those were the days. You could you would mess around with the settings to like get the soundtrack you liked.
But
cool.
But that's not something I do now with any retro game I play. Like I just want to play it, right? Like this is not like I'm plugging this into a computer. Those are the days I don't want to relive. Trying to configure my game for DOS versus Windows 2.1 for Sound Blaster. Like those weren't. Yeah, that's nostalgic glasses overkill. If that was fun for you all,
there are people
back in the day. That was frustrating to get a game working on Sound Blaster and 3DFX and all that.
Well, yeah, but it's because you had to like put on all the you had to put in all the flags. It was like Duke 3D.exe space dash SB16.
yeah. You Sound Blaster. You had your ad lib, PC speaker, Roland, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
that's
back then, but.
So
I just think it's cool that they put the work into it,
Yeah.
Yes, they did. So I'll tell you what I'm not as hyped for in these collections.
They put the work into that, but we still have broken carts out there. We have an ecosystem that's unfinished. We have bugs, but they put all their resources into making these collections like be something that a niche would enjoy. Yet we still have carts out there with wrong games on there. Like it's like there's tons of other stuff. I think the resources this company could have been focused on to make our core experience more fun on the EXP and the VS.
Well, but, I mean, maybe they need an expansion of the engineering team.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
True, it is little things that like magical drop. You still can't have save states without it locking up. But yeah, and again, that's why I said that's my main complaint with Blaze is it's just the focus and direction from management, right? Like I could like, it's like to your point, Pete. Like there's like these easy little things that I feel like they could have just fixed and moved on by now. And then at least I'm glad they're focusing on this. Although, here's the one thing I wonder: I'm not as hyped for the Duke Nukem 3D and the GBA versions. I think this is going to overshadow it. You know what I mean? Especially because it's the PlayStation version. If it was the DOS version, then like nostalgia wise, like I would be so super more hyped for Duke 3D. But because it's the PS1 version, I wonder how clunky it's going to be. Maybe they'll do improvements to it.
There's no way they improved it. I guaranteed, unless Ryan can tell me right now they touched that, I guarantee they didn't. Because it feels like I guarantee it's going to be the same version that's on the PlayStation.
It's probably easier for them just to do the PlayStation version just because of all the tweaking it would have taken to get the DOS version to work.
See, yeah, I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Out of the box on Steam Deck, I was able to run Duke. Like all I had to do was remap buttons.
Yes,
so I kind of feel,
yeah. Duke on PC, you use the mouse to control Duke. You to look around.
No, Steam Deck. I'm on Steam Deck. Not at all.
Yeah, but on Steam Deck you have an analog to. I don't know if you were using the digital D-pad to look around, or were you using the analog stick to look around.
Good question. I want to say the analog. I really don't like the D-pad.
Yeah, well, you're probably using the analog stick to look around.
Yeah, I want. Yeah,
around in the game originally used the mouse. There's no analog control on an Evercade.
But so I don't know if you need that because I want to say when I played it like Doom like back in the day. I don't know if you need that, but I mean, yeah, I just don't understand why they wouldn't use like the DOS box simulator and run it. Oh,
well, Doom is a little different because Doom you didn't have to aim up or down.
Oh,
it was just you just had to do something right.
So I want somebody out there to do a complete comparison because I have it on my PlayStation. I will play it on my PlayStation and I'll compare it to on the Evercade. And I'm useless at doing that stuff. But I'll do it. I wanna see what the difference is. Because I can't imagine they could do much with that.
3D you know what? Evercade, the PlayStation version, it's gonna be exactly the same version.
See, for a deep, you know what, Pete, for a deep dive, that's kind of the thing that I wanted, that like I would have liked to see. Now that I like, removing the initial, like that kind of like the differences, like what all did you do to improve? Like for me, I don't, maybe not everybody would, but like the geeky stuff, like what are the changes? Like what did y'all do to, yeah,
but you remove the awful controls. How could you make them better on the Evercade because it doesn't have analog sticks anyway? So
if it's the PlayStation version, probably didn't use analog controls. The default PlayStation controller didn't have analog controls.
My point exactly. The Evercade doesn't have analog controls.
Yeah, so maybe that's why they went
probably
with that.
Is just using the.
It would be a perfect match.
It is. It would be exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So I'm surprised now. What did they do? And why do they assume it's better? Because they don't have access to sticks.
When they're saying better, I'm assuming they're talking about Duke 1 and 2, not Duke 3D.
No, he's talking about the PlayStation 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Reverse it into 3D Duke 1.
I'm pretty sure he did, because that's what I asked him to comment on. Because he said we reverse engineered 3D TM and reworked a whole lot of including optimizing and rendering, removed initial loads and patching the awful original controls. So what does that mean? So, hey, man.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
We'll have to compare.
We'll see. I'm still super excited for it. Like, I'm really excited for this. I don't mind the original controls on the PlayStation because that's all I knew then. I didn't have the analog.
Yeah, I don't know what the controls were. I'm going to look up a manual for this.
Yeah,
unless the control scheme was really bad.
That manual will be 100% correct.
Oh, yeah. It was really bad. We patched to make it better. Okay, that's good. Good. See, that's like the type of stuff I want to know.
What was it? How did you make it better on a controller that is identical to?
They probably just revamped the buttons.
How did you make it better? That's what I want to know.
Was they add auto aim or?
It was back before probably the control scheme that we normally have for controllers for first-person shooters was probably set. That wasn't really really
Oh
set.
yeah, so he probably did D-pad plus.
So who knows what the controllers were set as in for that game? They probably
I'll go
remapped
check.
it to make it easier.
I'll check.
Yeah. So here's kind of the thing that I'd be curious to see, because you all know, like, I have strong opinions about some of the collections, like with Intellivision 2, the controls, with some of the point and click. I hope it's not a situation. I hope it really is improved. I don't want to feel like, you know what, they just kind of tacked this on here. Maybe they should have left it off if if it was impossible to do the controls right. I don't know. That's I just hope for me this isn't like some of the sports games where I feel like it's filler. I hope I'm going to be blown away. That's what I want. But we'll see.
I don't know, man. It's Duke Nukem. I'm super excited. They could not have touched anything and just put them on raw, and I would have loved it. Right?
Yeah, that'll be for seeing. If it was like the DOS versions, yes. But I'm just psyched about 1 and 2 because I never played that. And like you said, they put in the work, right? So I wonder if we'll see a trend where once a year we'll get a remaster, we'll get an exclusive.
Here's an interesting question. Do you think that after they did all that work on I'm going back to 1 and 2 real quick. After they did all the work on the music, do you think we ever get access to like a soundtrack to get something separate?
Ooh.
If they own the rights to it, probably. Maybe they should just pack that in as a free download.
That'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to rock that like on an MP3 player or something.
Dude, they should.
That'd be rad.
You know what? What if there is a QR code in the manual? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's more of an explanation. He said the default mapped label was Nukem 1 and would reset each time you would load up the game. They had a better scheme called Doomed, but you would need to swap at each loadout. So we patched it to default. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just the button layout.
Yeah.
I'm finding out the manual because there's so many Duke Nukem games on PlayStation that aren't Duke Nukem 3D.
So while we are talking about this, I want to let's see what our viewers, because I did ask a poll, and real quick too, I know I said this, a huge shout out and thank you for everybody. Like, I'm up to 825 subs, and I know I've had a new influx of people subbing to the channel, and I appreciate everyone's continued support and all that. 32 people liked it. Cool. So I did ask. Okay, we got 104 votes, which is excellent. I said, did the Duke Nukem deep dive from Blaze live up to the hype? And 42% of the people were like, hyper mega overload. Wow, 13% of people said it sucked, and 19% people said it was okay, and then 26% said that they love it. But let's not overhype.
Weird mix for an Evercade channel. You'd think it'd be overtly positive on your channel for that stuff.
Yes.
I mean, if you take the top one and the bottom one, you add them together, that's pretty good.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That gives you a good average. That's why these polls are misleading, right? Because you don't have definitive choices for all 4 answers. You got two parts of your poll is the same question or the same response.
It's different, right? Because because I wanted to know, are people just super, super excited, or is it just kind of meh?
How do you quantify that, though?
I asked it this way for a reason. Like, yes, of course I have to put the sucked answer, although I think anybody who thinks that is these people are obviously trolling. But then I wanted to know, are people as hyped as I am? And then I wanted to know for some people, is it just okay? Which is just kind of and then, or did people love it, but they're like, come on guys, you're just overhyping it. So that's kind of, they're similar, but I wanted to know that slight difference. So that's why I ask my questions the way that I do, just for that little.
Yeah. Well, you're always going to get trolls, right? Because 20% of all anybody's YouTube audience are morons and just there to incite, right? That's just life. You move on.
I had were my own imagining. The lead coder has a big blog post, which is interesting. I was excited. It would be a 20-minute range. Yeah, RMGB TV. Am I wrong? Maybe just assume the showcase. I'm glad I only have to get one of them. So interesting. So maybe there's some people who only want they only want the remasters. They don't care about the other.
That's cool that they did more work even on the other games.
Oh my God, Phantom!
That's a good squishy.
He's not loyal to channel member, guys. No. Oh, Phantom, you're awesome. That was too. That was too.
That explains why I can't find it. It wasn't called Duke Nukem 3D on the PlayStation. It was called Duke Nukem Total Meltdown.
Okay. Total meltdown.
Yes, it was.
Well, the PC community, hopefully, who knows, they may have a total amount. So for me, the only thing I hope I hope this stays an exclusive, like on Evercade. Like I hope it doesn't get a Steam release or anything, because if it does,
I really hope it does. Game preservation, man.
Well, it's preserved on the preserved on the Evercade.
Evercade Blaze, if they're not dumb, right? Blaze people are pretty smart, including Ryan. They should put a digital release out there on all storefronts. Make as much money as possible. Keep it physical on Evercade for us losers, but make it digital everywhere and bring in a pile of cash. And if they're not thinking that, sorry, you need better business people in your company, because I would applaud a decision like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Or if they do it, make it a delayed. Do like what Sony does, wait a year, because what they're trying to do. Like, I think the whole reason they did this, they're trying to get the PC gaming community to come over to Evercade. And if you can just put it out on Steam, then
that ship has sailed, dude.
Those people will never buy.
Happening. They're stupid if they think that. And to wait a year, they're not Sony. They don't have $30 billion in the bank. Like, put it everywhere. Atari's got the right message, man. Put their crap everywhere, and they're doing a great job with it. I think they should do it. This should be a digital release across all storefronts.
That's cool.
Nah, it doesn't deserve to be on the Switch.
Why not? That's the one place it probably do the best.
I don't the control. I don't know I think it would be weird to play on the Switch with a control. Well, maybe a Pro controller.
But why?
Because the Nintendo Joy-Cons are horrible, man. Like I didn't realize until I played like a store model. Like I'm like, no wonder
I can't remember the last
people
time.
disagree with you. But I mean, I think that's what they should be doing. If they have the rights to these games and it's their games, I'd put them everywhere, like digitally. Keep the physical on their own platform.
We'll see what happens. I think if they do that though, that they need to announce it. Like it shouldn't just appear up on the Steam store.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm all about getting games out to everybody and every audience, and I'm not about gatekeeping content to one ecosystem. That's really bad.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of more like, hey, this was designed for Evercade. It's meant to be played in Evercade. If you want it that bad, you should buy an Evercade. But
but the Evercade doesn't have anything control-wise that, like, it's not an Amico. It's not built to have a controller that only games can be played on it. Like, it's an Evercade. It's got a D-pad and 4 buttons and some shoulder buttons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every other console has exactly everything that Evercade has.
That here's the only they have to be careful though, because it could kind of send the message, like, it's fine if they take existing indie games and make it physical, but then some people might be like, oh well, why should I buy the physical Evercade cards if it's going to go out to the Steam store anyways and be cheaper? So that's the only risk, right?
Well, that's everything.
They get more money digitally than they do on physical stuff. They get more of their money back if they put it on Steam store. They get a bigger percentage back. Right. I think if they after a few months, maybe mid 2024, I think I'd be fine with it going to the Steam, because that's it's a PC game. It started off on that store. That would be like a perfect fit, and then it would kind of be cool to also pick that up and play it on Steam Deck and compare the two. So we'll just have to see. I don't know if that'll conflict with the existing release. Oh, that's right. The first two don't. We'll see. I guess it would just be a release of the first two games, because nobody's really going to want to buy the PlayStation version or the GBA when you could. You know what I mean? If you're going that route, I think that audience would just probably want to emulate it. But maybe the first two. We'll see if they do that.
But in the Evercade, it is emulation. It's being
not the first two. The first two are ported over. So I could, but that's kind of my point. If why would you buy? I don't know. Again, buying physical collections are fine, but I think majority of piece, why would people want to I don't think people would want to buy the GBA, the inferior versions, when you could actually buy the real version to play on Steam, or the full. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. Versus but unlike Evercade, it's kind of a cooler novelty to see these other games thrown in. Because let's be honest, we're mainly buying this for the remasters, right? If the remasters were not on these collections at all, I would not nearly be as hyped. I'd just be like, oh, I get Duke Nukem 3D.
I
Cool.
don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, no. I mean, the remasters are awesome. I mean, it's a kind of like a tentpole like awesome thing that I think that the guys are doing, and putting in all that work. But I mean, I'd probably just be as hyped if it was Duke 3D and the other games on that other collection. I would still be hyped because I want to play all those games again, because you know that, as Ryan has been mentioning throughout this entire chat, they don't just take the ROMs and just dump them on the cards and hand them out. Like they get in there and they like fix some things and they do whatever tweaks they need to do to get it out. So you are getting a little bit better of a play experience. So I would still be hyped, but I know that, because they've been talking about it a lot, over the past couple of years, they've been waiting for, and it looks like it looks like they're really doing some awesome stuff. So
They said like with
I'm
Advanced,
hyped about it all.
they're doing other things. Oh, okay. So Jason asked, how long did they spend? 6 to 8 months. Yes. So yeah, I could see that. And this is what excites me, because I think we've talked about, like, this is what Blaze needs to be doing, taking something like this that's exclusive, that doing a whole like remaster. So I think it's fantastic. And for me, the video is like, because of the ever delays, like this got me hyped again. I just wish we were getting it at the end of this month.
mean, it's one of those things that, like, I hope for them that, like, logistic errors that happen kind of like this, they kind of ease themselves eventually, but a lot of these delays are just that. They're like logistical delays, like a week or two or whatever. So it's like I don't know. I never really got too much fussed with that. You know what I mean?
6 to 8 months working on that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would you take so long? You could build 3 mobile games in that time frame.
No, dude, I could easily see that, because
what an investment, man. I hope this sells a lot.
Yeah.
That's a massive investment for 2 carts. Explains a lot, actually.
So with the funny thing is, with that said, though, I do expect it to be out like no day one patch.
Well, this got to be perfect, right?
Yeah, a lot of effort, dedication.
That's a lot. That's 8 months to put on 2 carts. Wow, that is. That's terrifying, actually. Considering we have so many other stuff that needs some love.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I would say that if they want to do these kind of projects, which I applaud them for, and say, hey, you know what, yes, because there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of energy, but you're right. There are some things to go back and massage and fix from some of the older collections. Like I said, maybe it's time to get a junior engineer in there and go back and do some fixes. Get somebody else under the wing in the team.
It's pretty much
and get some of that stuff done.
We can pretty much now say we'll never get an upgraded ecosystem on the Evercade. We'll never get friends. We'll never get achievements. We'll never get things that other retro companies are doing on their console. We'll never get it, because if this is where they spend 8 months of their time, it's obviously the priorities is putting their effort, which will generate new customers and new money, as opposed to keeping their existing customers happy. It's written right there. He just wrote it, because we've been saying for 3 years now, the core community, things we'd love to see, and we ain't getting shit. And that's sad. That's just completely sad. So for me, my expectations of anything coming out to appease the core is pretty much, don't expect it.
I mean,
you know what? You go ahead, Rich.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay,
because
tell me what they've done to tell you that you shouldn't disagree with that. I want to know what they've done in 3 years.
Well, I mean, I think the path that they laid out with all of the things that they have introduced in all of the different product lines, right? I think it was all based on feedback. You know, like
Yeah, but it's all who asked for yeah, okay, but I'm going to tell you something. But everything they've introduced, Rich, has been to get more money from new people and new money from existing customers. But they've not given us anything for upgraded things we can do within the ecosystem, fixing games broken on stuff. Like they haven't done any of those. Like they haven't done any of that. They've just given us new things to give them money for. That's all they've done. What else have they done? They haven't. Instead of Hyper Megatech, maybe if they took that effort and put it into fixing all the problems and giving us new features to play with. But they didn't. They gave us new things to buy for the core. Like, that's all they've done. They keep going into our pockets because we're invested into it and we like the games and the systems they're doing. But they completely ignored putting features in the system that we could benefit from and use and we've been asking for.
So here's what's interesting because, okay, with Ron, and this is kind of, okay, I'm sorry, buddy, that you've been sick, but this is kind of what I have suspected, that I think Ryan is the only like programmer or the main lead programmer at Blaze. And that's why when I keep hearing that like staff gets like, dude, they need to clone you, Ryan. Like they need more. So here's kind of where I am on the whole thing. Initially, I was excited about maybe getting online features and all that other stuff, but because, like, because some basic issues haven't been fixed. At this point, I think that would be too much of a big undertaking. What I want to see is just don't put on any new hardware. Just have the games good and just have them come out without day one patches. Do stuff like the Duke Nukem. Focus on that. That's what I want to. That's what I want to see, because I think if they try to do something else, it's going to be too big of a huge undertaking.
Yeah. Well, because their priority is simply that it's like 8 months on 2 new carts that we're getting at the end of the year, instead of 8 months fixing everything that's wrong and giving us new things in the existing ecosystem, which is fine. I just want them to honestly say that and say, hey, you'll never get infringed. You're never getting any type of cool system updates that like Atari does or other systems do. You're never getting any of those because our priority as a company is to produce products.
Well, I mean,
they've doubled the staff.
Maybe that's the thing, right? Like maybe what they did during this year, during that time, is they did the hiring because they knew that they, like the first 2 years was, okay, well, let's see how this stuff is going to work. And then they realized that, well, if they want to grow in 2 different facets, to bring new people in and to also give some of these feature updates, they have to grow. I mean, obviously, it's apparent. Like, there was to not do that, right? So, here's Ryan saying they, okay, well, they've already made the investment in staff, and now they're also developing features in the background. So, like, okay, that's good. So maybe like we talk about 24's roadmap, right? Maybe 24's roadmap should be the feature sets and whatever the next slate of cards is going to be, and then that's it.
No new hardware.
Like, so like no, yeah, like I mean, it is a pattern now. Like every year they've done some kind of hardware. I mean, maybe this is the year that they should really dive in and get those feature sets out. So
yeah, so 3 years now the system's been out. How long has certain carts been broken? Like, so I just want them to honestly come out and say, that's not the company we are. This is the company we are. We are a new product company. We constantly put out new products. That's who we are. And until they start doing something differently and big features in development, yeah, good. All right. What are they? Tell us.
See, that would be nice, and I'd like to know. I keep hearing
is it tied to another product? That's what I think it is. That's why they're not talking about it, because it's probably tied to a product launch.
True. Or what I want to know is double this. How many of those people were software engineers? That's like doubling the staff. Like that doesn't really mean anything to me. Like you could have doubled the staff, hired more You know what I mean? Like how many were software engineers? That's kind of what I want to know.
Ryan's trying to answer stuff, and I applaud him. But he's
been in the works. Stuff. He's new card revisions.
He's not the person that needs to answer this stuff. It's not him. Yeah. He's just a cog in the machine. He's the one, keeping the lights on. But
okay. The dev team doubled. Okay, cool. That's good. That's good to know.
It's like, my blinders are off with this company. It's like I have
here's
every right to say what I want about them and speak intelligently about them, because you know what? I've probably invested more money in their ecosystem than anybody in this chat or on this call.
That's true. Because don't you buy double of everything and
I
keep
am
it?
done being their little errand boy and talking good about them to build up a community, because they don't give a shit about the community, guys. If they did, they'd be doing community wanted features. They don't. We've been saying for 3 years we want community features. Where's that? Us and the people across the pond that do the Facebook group and their podcasts have created this community, and most of it's been an echo chamber. Most of it's been a freaking echo chamber, and I'm done. I'm done. I've changed my view, and I will support them, and I will give them love on stuff that I think they're doing right. But I will call a spade a spade. Especially with this, and then they say they're community oriented.
Well, that's why we say we're here to keep them to keep them honest and all. I think if you're too overly positive about everything, something is wrong. You do have to give constructive feedback. I mean, that's kind of what we're all here for. But yeah, I think it goes down to communication, because we have these times where they work on stuff and then they disappear, and then I know to us sometimes even Ryan and Sean will reach out to us behind the scenes, but then they'll disappear. So I definitely do think there could be better communication to content creators and externally to everyone else to kind of know the plan. Because all we can do is speculate, right, based upon their past performance. That's all we can do.
Game of the Month is one of the best things to ever do, and I've said it every video I've done on Game of the Month. Yeah, but
it's an awesome feature.
That's something that's really cool, right? That they do. Those are the things I want to see more of that give back to the community. The community's playing and giving you things like that. If they do more stuff like that and come clean and actually communicate that out, but to tell me they've got 2 things in development and not be willing to share, what's the big secret?
True.
What are you expecting to gain by keeping that tight to the vest? If anything, if you say they're big features for the community, you'd want to tell them early so people can give you feedback and let you know if that's a good idea or not. They could be working on dip switches and only the 1% of the 1% want that.
Fair point. Well, one thing they could do that's really easy that they've, I'll say, slacked or stopped doing. We used to get putting double carts in the VS unlocking games. We used to get secret games. We used to get cool secrets.
Cool things anymore.
No, and I miss that, right? You know what I mean? Even if
secret games. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they just did a secret game.
No, we don't though. We haven't gotten one in a year, I think, where you actually put in the code.
Okay,
wait, no, they just literally launched a secret game in the secret.
Oh, the Rogue 64, but
Rogue 64 and the double cart. You had the Team 17 and the Worms collection. You get Worms Director's Cut for the Amiga, which I wanted.
But okay, let me take a step.
But it's not
there's been a lot of delay, and there's been a lot of ever delay in between that. Before we did get Rogue 64, I think it's been a year.
How frequently do you want it? It seems to me like it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be some hit and misses. Dude, you have the Technos console, you have the Technos arcade. Why wasn't that an unlock?
Yeah, I don't care much about that. I want more secret games. I'd like to have more secret games because you know what it does? It gets the community guessing. It gets the community involved. They don't do any of that stuff.
True.
Everything they do is to go sell more stuff to the existing community. But if you do secret games, then Rich does a video, you do a video, and everybody's guessing at what the code is. That's fun. That's building a community.
Right? True.
But it all goes back to the one. Let's see. The one most valuable asset that they don't seem to have, right? Which is time.
Well, they do have time.
We talk about all this stuff, and it's just so how many, how much in the last? So because we're reflecting on stuff that happened, over the last year, right? So up until whenever they did their big hire, right? They still are however many people they were. What is it? Maybe 10, something like that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, it's so.
I disagree.
I want them to do.
Rich. I love you, Rich. You always are super positive. You cover
He is.
everybody's ass constantly. You're a great. I love you, dude. I really do. But you know what? They have time to put out Hyper Mega Tech, all this new stuff.
That's what I
8
was gonna
months
say.
on 2 carts. They got time, man.
It's their
don't
focus,
turn
right?
on the community,
Well,
Rich.
So
This
here's
is your
what's
community, buddy.
so here's what's interesting, and I think so. I remember a long time ago we had Sean on. He said to do like QR codes for like high scores and stuff would be easy. So that's something maybe they could have knocked out. But when I'm like, hey, how come we don't have like auto fire, for like all the games? And they're like, well, you guys shouldn't have had that anyways. That just happened to come with like Nintendo. So I kind of feel like some certain things they're willing to do, other stuff they kind of look. I kind of feel like they look at us like we're aliens. Like, no, guys. Even though everyone else has that, why should we have it? I don't know. It's a weird
Do
messaging,
they have a
right?
community manager? Rich, do you know, or Ed?
Wait, what was?
Oh, do they have like a community manager in place? You mean?
Yes. Of course they don't. There you go. They haven't even invested.
I mean, that's
in
good.
That
I
was
mean,
Sean.
manager. 3
How about
years.
Sean?
well, Sean's the marketing director.
Sean's a marketing guy and a very good one.
Yeah, I mean, what? I mean,
He was the community manager.
that's a decent point.
I wanted to put that out as I didn't expect you to answer it because no one knows. But the point is, we're 3 years into an ecosystem. They don't have a community manager managing a community. That's literally probably there's a couple hundred, at least 250,000 units of Evercade stuff out in the world. That's a low ball.
Well, all right. So
And tons of podcasts, a
counterpoint.
magazine, a Facebook channel, but no one that actually is representing the company as a community manager. Kind of feels odd, doesn't it?
That's true. I
Well,
never thought.
I mean,
I thought it was
so
Sean, but I guess now that I think about
Atari
it,
was in the Atari build, though, right? For a long time.
What?
In fact, they just technically hired their community manager, Len.
Yeah, but I mean, Atari, it's two
a year
different
ago,
things, right? I
So-
think Atari is equally to blame in that, but I mean, that doesn't cover the fact that 3 years in, tons of podcasts, tons of videos, high-end channels that, well, not high-end, just big channels, like hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers are covering the Evercade, yet there is no community manager. They need to make Rich the community manager. Now, Rich doesn't have the temperament for that.
I don't have the
Rich is too
temperament.
nice. I would never be able to talk smack about Rich if he was the community manager. I'm like, no, I can't. He's too nice.
Right. Well, so
Maybe that's
they're
the
all good
point.
points, but I think here's the one thing that I think that we'd like to see, instead of them coming out with Hyper Mega Tech or coming out with a new system.
Hey, can we talk about that delay? Because that really hurts me.
Yes, but let me just say this. I think I think too what you're getting at, P, with all the features and everything. Enrich the ecosystem that you have. Give people a reason to buy your existing products. Don't just kind of put that on the side and come out with the Hyper Mega Tech.
Not only are you getting a collection, Ed, and everybody listening, you're getting a community built in.
Yeah.
Isn't that what started Xbox Live? Like, I'm not comparing it to Xbox Live, but that's what Xbox Live done for online console gaming, right? It gave you stuff. So, like, even Atari VCS, as friends I got a friend on via VCS, I can message them from the friends portal. I can see what their favorite games are. Like, that's all we're asking. Simple stuff like that. But yeah, community manager.
I mean, it's a great suggestion, that's for sure.
Are you? I can't believe I have to suggest it.
Or at the very least, they need to take a year off from coming out with new hardware, go back, fix all the things, and just focus on that and get caught up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish to take a year off from new hardware, and then halfway next year we can all complain that there's no new hardware.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
That'll never happen. I will definitely never do that.
Me neither.
If they take a year off of hardware, there's no way I'm complaining.
Yeah.
It's not hardware.
No.
Unless they put out the tabletop with 10 cart slots or 20 cart slots, I'd buy that.
There you go.
Nice.
But that'll be Hyper Megatech.
Right.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Exactly. But let's see. What do I say? To be fair, we have a lot of back end fixes overhauls last 6 months, not public. But tell us this stuff.
Yeah, my
You know what I mean?
assumption is that's par for the course, man. I'm sorry, Ryan. You I love you, dude. You're like I said, you're the backbone of that company, but that doesn't help the situation.
Yeah, well, I'd kind of like to. I'd like to know more kind of what they're doing because we know there's a period of time where y'all are just like quiet, and we don't. You know what I mean?
And that's when you need a community manager the most, right? To talk fluff with us.
Yes, I
That's what the
agree.
community manager does, right? The community manager, their job is to placate the community and engage in them and give the developers and the company kind of periods of rest, right?
So Ryan, I have a bone to pick with you on that statement. No, it's not. You guys are behind in the release notes. Even when you come out with a new game of the month, y'all don't go in there and just say no changes were made, only added game of the month. Sometimes you do, but and that's my frustration. I kind of feel like the easy little things that I'm nitpicking about, like those should be done, but y'all fall behind on stuff like that. Like that's what drives me nuts the most. if I'm being honest, it's like the little attention to detail. And maybe I'm being too hard, but like in my own like work life, like I put that same attention to detail into all my work, and maybe that's why I get frustrated. Little things like that. So, all right, that's my old man soapbox. but listen though, we have a passion. I don't want the take would be we've beaten up Blaze. Like we have a lot of like passion for this stuff, and we want it to succeed, and we just want to make sure that y'all don't like lose your way. That's all. That's all. Crow, you've been like quiet, like get me out of this shit.
I'm not really into speculation. I only care about what is out and exists. I don't care about promises or what is going to happen. I just care about what's out, what exists.
Oh, there's a lot of reworking for launch mechanism, future-proofing cards. Well, that's good.
Nice.
Although I know Pete, you'll say what future-proofing though?
I don't really care anymore. I'm going to Crow's business. I only care about it when I get it in my hands.
I will say the cards are pretty
Why am I
resilient.
worried about things I don't have?
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I just want to help this company. That's all I want to do. 'Cause I'm a fan
for
of
saves, new ellipse menus, updates. Okay, see that's
Actually one feature I'd like to see instead of save states, but if there could be a rewind feature, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be great for certain games. Yeah, I'd like. Yeah, there's a bunch of features I'd like, but nobody's ever asking us for that feedback, right? We just throw them out and they go out into the ether, and nobody captures it. But if they had a community manager, maybe they would capture it. They would do polls. They would do half the work that we're doing for it, right?
Well, maybe in theory we all are like the community managers, so they don't need to hire one.
That's
doing a really bad job.
Yeah, not really good at it.
A lot of features people want, but a bunch of backend showing up required. As we have a lot of. Okay, cool. Well, dude. So that's So here's what's interesting, and I'll throw this out here. That oh God, Crow the Bad Echo is back. Is that maybe like maybe y'all should just put out kind of like quick little update videos, on your YouTube, and maybe just kind of like give more updates to some of this stuff. Like that would be because whenever you guys make a video, we'll as we talked about earlier, we'll all make videos on that. You know what I mean? Like that would be like I know you guys put out like developer blogs, but like in 2023 we all like are like on TikToks and like people don't read that stuff as much. Like I want to say if you put out a blog, it's like non-existent compared to doing a YouTube video. Like a lot more people will look at your YouTube video. So just even if it's just like a camera like on Sean talking for 5 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out what these big features are, because if it's dip switches, that's not a big feature at all.
A lot for the time.
I want to know what their definition of big feature is. Because if it's obscure features like that, like only a small % will ever use, like, I mean, come on, like, really?
With the Atomic Edition, I would hope that, because they've said
a lot of them would need it for the Atomic VS release. Why? It's just a skin console. That makes no sense to me. It includes its own theme and music, but wouldn't that just be a save file on there, on the system hardware? Like
you just replace the music file and skin. Yeah, no, I'd be curious to know.
That is just a content drop. That's a content swap. Okay, whatever. I'm tired. I don't want to.
We could look at doing a proposed.
All the time on that show.
Dude. Yeah, we could look at doing a proposed dev roadmap every 6 months. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because y'all put out like the cartridge room. Yeah, do that. Oh my God.
The worst thing you want is one of your main podcasts where a couple of the hosts are constantly challenging you on things like this. If we had the information, we'd be much more supportive of it, but you just don't feed us anything. You just like come on, like you get in our chat every now and then, but you don't do anything. You don't engage with it. Like, why aren't you engaging with Ed? Ed has a channel dedicated to you. Who else has an Evercade dedicated channel out there?
I do.
Right?
Thank you for saying
don't.
that.
You
Pete.
got rid of it.
Yeah.
You got rid of it. But like,
It's like
It still exists. I didn't believe
why
it.
aren't you engaging with them, right? Like when I used to do tons of Evercade content on my old channel, like you guys used to engage with me, and I like, you know, but I had to reach a certain threshold of subscribers before you would. Maybe that's what they're waiting for everybody Ed, but I mean, help them get there. Like, you should be engaging with them. You should be giving information to all our community, because right now, like, you know, me, who's been your biggest supporter forever, I'm just tired of, like, I'm just calling spades a spade. I will give you credit where it's due, and I continue to do it. Go check my videos out. I even tried to negate my negativity on Delphine Collection by constantly saying it's just my opinion. I'm sure there's tons of people that love the collection. You just do better. Do better as a company. That's all. And it's not you, Ryan. It's your boss's boss and bosses and bosses' bosses, whoever it is. I don't know.
Bosses.
Yeah, I hear you, Ballistic. Atari's no different, man. They're no different. You're doing the heavy lifting for them. I can tell you that. That same as other guys are doing the heavy lifting for another retro company that's trying to get a console out. There's a lot of
I appreciate that, and that's why, like, I've given Pete the title. He's the father of the Evercade community. Like, definitely, like you started
on this
the
side
whole...
of the Atlantic. I wouldn't say you're not wrong. That's for sure. I mean, there's some really good people on in England doing stuff, like Roger and all that gang. They got podcasts going. They're pretty amazing people too, right? They're doing their part.
Yep.
You know, it's sad to a point where, like, you know, this company, it's where they're at right now, and I still want them to be successful, but it's tough, right?
Yeah.
I just can't sit back and not comment on this stuff. And you know what?
Yeah.
I only do it here. I don't do videos on it because I don't really feel like that's something I want to be doing. But
no, Pete, I say that because, like, when I was thinking about Evercade, like, I found your channel, and through that I found Evercast, and that's how I found like Crow and Rich's channel, and like now I'm here. So that says a lot, you know. That says a lot. And it's like, sure, there are other people who do things, but I feel like you were the one that really like pushed it and offered like an honest perspective instead of just saying, "Oh, this thing sucks. Here are all the bad things." It's like, here are the good, you know.
We always did. Me and Rich, even in the beginning when we did it, we used to talk about stuff that we liked them to do, stuff that they didn't necessarily do well. It's just that we were giving them, and Rich is still giving them the room to make a lot of mistakes, right? Like, but I'm kind of, that room is run out for me.
But yeah. I mean, TV said it's fantastic. Pete, wait, hold on a second. Pete is the Father, Rich is the Spirit, that is the Holy Ghost. Not sure what that makes Crow.
Probably would make me Satan, right?
Oh God!
Yes.
Oh no!
That is so true.
No, he's the Crow. He's the Crow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was freaking hilarious.
I came back.
I got a lot of views for my Delphine. I lost. You know how many subscribers I lost for Delphine Collection?
How many?
I lost. 49 subscribers.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And I bet you, guaranteed, all the ones who left me did not watch that video, because if you watch that video, I make I make so many comments about, you know, I could see how somebody who loved these genre of games would love it. Like,
the people who watch my videos are not the typical YouTuber, because last time somebody said they didn't like what I said and they you're going to unsubscribe, and I said something similar back to them. They came back and apologized to me. I'm not really get unsub.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to lose a lot more subs from Evercade Group today, and you know, that's okay. That's fine. I don't really care.
But I do feel like there's been a little bit of that disconnect. Maybe when things settle down, maybe behind the scenes maybe they will reach out to us. Because listen, like I kind of understand, like, hey, I understand why some of the bigger channels get carts in advance to push that. But it just, you know, and I don't think any of us are asking for that. It's just, it would be nice to kind of like just be in the know, right?
I had to hit 5,000 subs on my old channel before Sean said he would send me free stuff, and then I gave it all away.
But I will. So there was. Here's what I missed, which was the greatest thing. It wasn't like last year or so. It's when Evercast was on Rich's channel, and he reached out to Rich and said, "Hey, any of y'all like want to do that challenge?" And then I think you all were like me and Rich, and they put that like in the featured video, and like it was just so great the way like that meant like so much to me, like that that was just like, hey, we care about y'all to put us in this main feature like showcase. That's all.
That was cool.
That made me so happy. Like that's all that I'm asking for, right?
Yeah, it's like, I think a little help to the small channels who are dedicating their spare time, like what I was doing, like Ed was doing. Like they don't even retweet Ed's videos. Why give some love to Ed? Like why not? Who else has a dedicated Evercade channel? Why not? What's wrong with you helping a dude grow? No, Crow, you do not. Okay, you got rid of it.
Like, stop. I appreciate that, Pete, because my channel was built on Evercade, and it still is.
Like I'm just saying, right? Like you know what? Like why not? What harm is it for Sean and them to retweet? Even like poor Rich. Rich has done more videos on tons of stuff. Why aren't they, like, he's not dedicated to Evercade, but why aren't they retweeting them? Why aren't they, sending out kudos to the like people like Rich and Ed who are doing tons and tons of content? I got 172 videos on Evercade on my channel. 172 videos on Evercade. And not once did I get a retweet. Actually, I had them remove some of my videos from their Facebook because I had a critical opinion on something. I don't want a retweet from them. I don't even want any acknowledgement that I do videos from them. But I really want them to acknowledge Ed and Rich because they do positive content for the most part. Ed's critical sometimes, but he's mostly positive. Rich is always positive, and his videos are well thought out, and they don't give him any love. So you know what? Screw you, Sean. You should be doing that for those channels. You should be doing that overload. Every time they speak about your product, grow them because you're growing your own company. So shame on you for not doing that. Pisses me off. Sorry. Because there's two good people on here. Crow, Crow, I was saying the same for you, but you hate money. You hate growing your channels. You killed it, so too bad.
Yep, there you go. I don't want to feel like I have to make a video. That's why, like, when somebody sends me something in advance, and it's like, man, I have to do this video, that I have to get it done before the date.
Well, all I could say is that, like, the three of us will never have as nice of a beard as you, Crow. You will always win.
Yeah, right away.
Crow's beard game is strong.
There's another channel started doing Evercade, PJ in the Universe. He's pretty neutral, but there's tons of channels out there that are
tablet, the headphones, everything got chucked.
Grow these channels, and you'll grow your own audience.
You say PJ in the Universe?
Yeah, I think so. He does a lot of Evercade content too, right?
Is it a new channel, or because I thought
YouTube reckons I got some
doing Evercade videos for a while?
Actually, speaking of that, it's you know what, Sergeant Billy? Am I saying that right? Sergeant Billy does all the heavy lifting. He posts everybody's every YouTube video pretty much that's out there relating to Evercade. He posts in the
I think Ballistic, don't you do Evercade? I really watch all your Atari stuff, but I'm not sure if you do Evercade. I don't watch a lot of Evercade content.
Yeah, Ballistic just did a Evercade video.
There's some good European ones that do Evercade video, smaller channels. There's so many tons out there. They could be doing so much more. That's what a community manager could be doing. Spotlights, right? Oh, did you? Oh,
cool. No, Ballistic. Yeah. There's a lot of talk, a lot of buzz.
Yeah, I've got to open up my Sunstaff stuff. I got to do that. I got to do a video on that one.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Those actually should be waiting for me when we're done. Whenever I get the mail. No, I can't wait. Sunsoft will definitely be. Actually, this might be a good segue into. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be doing that first.
I got today's 24.
Yeah, I can't wait to dive into Sunsoft, and then Dalphane will be after that. But I want to see if Blaster Master will live up to the hype. I want to see if playing like the Blaster Master Boy in black and white that'll bother me, or if I would have preferred to have like more of a Game Boy filter. We'll see. Or I'll probably be critical on that. Like, why didn't they use the Game Boy Color emulator and give you options to choose your color palette? Sounds like little Gandalf was saying a lot of stuff. The hobbits back there were saying stuff.
There's nursery rhymes happening in the background.
Nice. Copyright strike. No, that's a free domain. Oh hey. So yeah, that's what I'll have going on. Next week we'll be my first thoughts and impressions, and then the week after that will be the Dolphin collection, and then after that will be my 2 weeks later, since people it gives me an excuse to like play more Evercade.
Wow, you get through a whole collection in a week? Wow.
Well, like 2 weeks, but yeah, I mean, dude, like 4 to 6 games. I mean, yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're playing. But so what'll happen is at that point, like my Steam Deck will stay shut off, and I'll be focused on Evercade, and then after a few weeks, then I'll slowly go back into. I usually kind of keep going through those cycles. It really depends on the collection. I'll have to see if like Blaster Master, how that still captivates me, or if I get more frustrated. But we have save states, so I'm like, I can beat it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do my Sun stuff. Probably might do my Sun stuff today. Get me in a good mood because I got a feeling I'm gonna love that collection. Ballistic said he gave it an A, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it.
Well, it's got Jerry Cilia, so it automatically gets an A.
I've never played that before, never heard of that game.
It is
I kind of wish you guys wouldn't talk so highly about it because I don't want to feel like I gotta like it. Like I might feel like it might disappoint me.
Like we already know you have your own opinion, regardless what anybody else says, just based on your Delphine collection. Yeah. We knew you were gonna hate that collection before it even came out.
Yeah, it's just not for me. But I think if it's a platformer and a shooter, it's probably gonna be for me. But Blaster Master, I'm like one of the biggest. I got a little. I'll share. I might do my video. I'll talk about the story about Blaster Master, but I got a little cool story about that one.
Oh,
if
nice.
I remember to say it, because I'm old. But also, I probably doing final thoughts. I've got the video up for Atari 50 on the My Arcade, and it's fantastic. Like, go watch the video if you're interested in buying it, because it's a pretty cool handheld and stuff. So yeah, that's what I got going on.
Dude, yeah, I got that on my list. I need to watch that because I've been curious to see.
Yeah, it surprised me in a good way. I do have trouble getting the battery off the back, which is kind of funny. I didn't have any AAAs until yesterday, so I got to figure out how to get those off without breaking it.
Fun. And then so the cool. That's what you got going on. And then I think next week we'll see if Gandalf is available. I think me and Rich may be doing some more Loricana. Oh, so here's kind of a funny thing which I have to bring up. So I have not forgotten when he creamed my butt when we played Magic the Gathering.
Whoa.
Yes. Oh wait, don't read into it that way. But no, seriously, like so on Calling All Retro Gamers, me and him thought it would be fun, and I had some starter decks, and he went out and bought like the latest starter deck. Quiet you, like some of the latest like starter decks, and he beat me. He beat me very and so I want revenge. And I don't know if last week. No, I know Rich really had stuff going on, but he's like, yeah, I should probably practice playing like Pixel board. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, do that, learn the meta, because I'm like, I'm coming for you. I want revenge.
That's true. The gauntlet was thrown. That 100% happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know though. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. That's why I'm like, dude, check out Steadfast, because I want him to be familiar with the meta and all that. I want it to be a challenge. So that'll be fun. So we'll have that going on. And you may see more trading card game stuff, because I said it before. I really enjoy those videos that Rich has on his channel, the trading card game content.
Yeah, man. And that's a good time.
In addition to Rich's restorations, and if you guys doubt the resilience of the Evercade cards, check out his channel, because it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean we're on a roll with Evercade cards. We're on a roll. So there should be some more coming shortly to the channel. So yeah, it's a pretty good time. First though, I gotta do some 2600 cards. So that's the next one that I want to dive into. So.
Did you order the 2600 plus?
I did, yes. So now I'm eagerly awaiting that because I have a whole bunch of carts that I am going to attempt to do the restoration on, so that I could try to use it on the 2600 Plus to see if
That's exactly
Oh.
what I want to do when I get that. I want to like literally try every single cartridge I have on, see what works.
Yeah.
And what
I was wondering,
Yeah.
does Activision games work on it out of the box?
they,
the
Yes.
2600 Plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them they had mentioned are compatible, but there was one that they said didn't. It wasn't compatible. I can't remember which one it was though.
It was weird. It was like boxing or something like that.
Yeah.
It was boxing. It was like Bridge or something. Was it Bridge?
Oh yeah,
One of the
yeah.
lesser
You're right.
known.
Yeah,
All right.
it is definitely weird.
Oh,
But they
Crow,
also
anything
did
you
come
wanna-
out recently and say that they were actually doing some like patchwork or testing or whatever, and there was going to be an updated list with possible fixes or whatever. So,
Crow, anything you want to plug?
Commodore
oh, thanks, Toxo.
62 video is up. That took a really long time to encode. That's because it's over an hour and a half long. But it is probably the only video I have in there where I did a lot of swearing. In fact, there's an uncensored version floating out there if you could find it. Yeah, there's one of the worst games on the Evercade is in that collection. I can't believe and people like it. I don't know why, but also I want to start. There was a demo that came out for Pinball M that came out this week, and maybe I'll make a video on that. That's gonna be released sometime in October, I think. I don't think they have an exact release date, but that's you can actually play the demo of the Duke Nukem pinball machine in it. Duke Nukem's Big Shot Pinball. You get like a 2-minute demo of that. But even if you just download the demo, you get to play Wrath of the Elder Gods completely for free.
Hey, Ryan
Pinball-
wants to know what game did you say was like the worst game on Evercade or whatever?
You have to watch the video to find out.
Oh, okay.
All right. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. It's turkey time. I gotta go get stuff ready for
It's turkey time. All right, everybody. Well, thanks.
I'm done.
See ya.
Thanks so much for
Bye,
watching.
everyone.
Yep.
See you.